All right, ladies and gents, for better or for worse, we have the TRM Atom, the Three Rivers Manufacturing Atom. We're going to be doing a little bit of a review on this. So first off, there it is. You can see drop point, micarta handles. The blade is 20 CV steel, chemically equivalent to the M390. So it's quite a good steel, arguably the best steel out there. It has an overall length of 8.125 inches, a blade length of 3.5 inches, cutting edge is reduced a little bit because of that sharpening choil slash finger choil, which is it's pretty comfortable. It's fairly comfortable there. And so your cutting edge is about 3.375 inches. The blade thickness, oh, I love this stuff. That's thin. That's 0.09. That is awesome. That is thin. That is slicey. And it's almost a full flat grind. You can see kind of where the line is here. Right there. There, it shows it really well right there. And so it gets really thin behind the edge. This thing cuts. It cuts. And it came real sharp out of the box. Surgically sharp out of the box. If it even looks at a piece of paper, the piece of paper is just going to shiver and cut itself before this knife even gets close to it. The weight, it's really light knife. You're getting 3 ounces here, so it's a really light knife, and your blade to weight ratio, you're less than an inch, less than an ounce an inch, so you're falling right into that kind of awesome territory. If we want to compare it to some other blades, just for a size comparison, here we have it against the Benchmade Bug Out, the 535 Bug Out. What else do we have here? We have the Ontario Rat number 1. So as you can see, it's kind of in Rat 1 territory for size, for blade length, and the handle's a little bit smaller there. And what else can we throw in here? We can throw in Spyderco PM2, and why not? We'll throw a pocket sword into the mix. And there you have the Zero Tolerance 0452. Okay, so as far as comparisons go, that ought to touch on something that you're relatively familiar with for a size comparison. One thing that I really like about this is the engraving. I'll see if I can get this up close here. Right there. That is absolutely gorgeous. The Three Rivers coming together there. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a nice logo. It's not imposing. It's not, you know, a billboard style look at me, look at me, look at me label. It's just quiet, unobtrusive, and it's there, and it looks nice, and I like it. The ergos, I gotta say, the ergos are great. It's really, really comfortable in the hand, especially with, you know, I've got small hands, but they're meaty. The fit and finish, I mean, the blade centering on this is perfect. Let's see if I can. Blade centering is, come on. Focus. Blade centering is just perfect on this. It's a nice thin knife. We'll just do a little comparison here. So there's the Atom, and here's the PM2. So as you can see, it's a great way to compare the thickness of the knife, and the PM2 is by no means a thick knife. The Atom is just that much thinner. The blade stock on the PM2 relatively thick, however it does have a full flat grind all the way to the top, and it's a tall blade, so the resulting edge is quite thin and it is quite slicey. It also has a nice distal taper coming towards the tip here, starting as far back as the spidey hole. So by the time you get to the tip, you got a tip that is made for cutting. But we're not talking about the PM2, we're talking about the Atom, which is also very much made for cutting. The thinner blade stock lends to cutting really well. It's thinner, so it's thinner in the pocket. It's that much easier to carry. And if you look at the pocket clip is just, it's fantastic. It allows a lot of space for fabric in your pocket. So if you've got larger pockets, if you're out on a construction site, well, I'm not sure if I want to take this onto a construction site, but if you have thicker pockets, you're definitely going to be able to accommodate that that thicker pocket in the pocket clip without getting hung up or caught. And also, it's got good ramp on the clip, so it slides in and out of the pocket very easily. The micarta is nice. One criticism that I do have of this knife, and I'm going to see if I can get this done on camera for you here, is the detent is a little bit weak. As you can see, it takes a little bit of effort. My range of motion isn't the greatest on camera here, but I was able to shake that. Open. So the detent could be a little bit stronger, but I mean, other than that, the action on this is fantastic. I've had this apart a couple of times. I have a disassembly video on it. That I go through how to disassemble, maintain, clean, and then reassemble this knife, and it is very easy. One thing that I do like about this knife, they send extra screws with it, which is always appreciated when the manufacturer goes ahead and does something nice like that. Other than that, I mean, it's a fantastic knife, premium quality steel into the blade, excellent action. It cuts. Oh my God, does this thing cut. It is just a fantastic knife for cutting. And it slides in and out of the pocket very easily. And if you're going to be making a pocket knife, then please, knife makers, please pay attention to the clip. Because otherwise it's just a knife. It's not a pocket knife because it doesn't slide in and out of the pocket very easily. And the other half of that word is knife. So please make sure it cuts. The better that it cuts and the better that it slides in and out of the pocket makes it a better pocket knife. Other than that, this, like I said, TRM, fantastic job. This is just a knife that as I carried it, like when I first got it, it was difficult to get, which is a little bit of a gripe. They're doing their best to improve production. They're doing their best to ramp up production on this to make sure that everyone who wants one gets one. And right now they're just in the process of playing a bit of catch up there because the demand for these things is high. The interchangeability of the scales is fantastic. You don't need to remove the pivot screw. You don't need to remove the pivot screw to change out the scales. It's just really easy to do. Again, I do a disassembly video on this, and that's pretty clearly illustrated there. And so the availability, the detent are pretty much the only two gripes that I have with this knife. Otherwise, this thing it's an absolute 100% unmitigated success. TRM, kudos. And whoever made these scales as interchangeable as they are deserves a freaking hero cookie, because that is just fantastic. It's not something that you see in most other knives. The fact that you sent a little bit of extra hardware along with it, again, very, very nice. Thank you for that. And I look forward to seeing what you have in store for other knives. I believe there's a Nerd on the way, and I'm anxious to see what comes out after that. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.